Doug the Thug, a name that made hardened criminals step aside, breaking handcuffs with his bare hands, surviving attacks that would kill ordinary men. This is his story.
How do you want to die?
I hope I don't die at all, as long as no one shoots at me.
Did you order a hit?
Certainly not. That's a made-up story.
1. The All-American Boy. Before becoming Doug the Thug, Douglas Orr Jr. was just another kid in tiny Selma, California. Born April 1946 to working-class parents, young Douglas seemed destined for suburban normalcy. He grew up in a traditional family setting straight out of Leave It to Beaver. The local newspaper tracked his wholesome childhood like a sitcom highlight reel. Birthday parties with grandparents made front-page news. School swimming competitions earned him modest local fame. His 8th grade graduation speech about education through reading revealed his articulate side. Yet this bookish boy would later make hardened criminals tremble in prison yards. In November 1959, disaster struck. 12-year-old Orr crashed his homemade four-wheeler at an intersection, fracturing both his legs. While doctors saved his limbs, something inside him may have changed forever. The months in hospital beds might have twisted something fundamental. Another warning sign flashed when he vanished at age 15 without explanation. He ran away at midnight, staying gone for days. Though he returned, questions lingered about this unexplained absence. By 1962, he appeared rehabilitated and focused on athletic achievement. Swimming trophies lined his shelves. Teachers praised his discipline. Classmates admired his comeback story. Meanwhile, beneath the surface, something unidentifiable was brewing. In 1962, 16-year-old Orr was honored at the school Spring Awards banquet, receiving his athletic letter for swimming. The transformation between graduation and 1967 defies simple explanation. 2. Violence blooms. Somewhere between 1964 and 1967, Orr went through a transformation from a clean-cut, all-American boy to an outlaw biker, a member of the Daly City chapter of the Hells Angels. He emerged in Irving Penn's photographs wearing Hells Angels patches with cold eyes. The honor student had completely vanished. In his place stood a man others described as a straight-up fighter. Doug's descent into infamy accelerated with precision. By July 1967, his first major arrest came during a routine traffic stop when police discovered marijuana in his pockets. This minor offense barely hinted at what would follow. The fall months brought escalating troubles and mounting criminal charges. During a weekend in San Mateo County Jail, guards found stimulants during his strip search. They also noted his fresh Hells Angels tattoo across his chest. December 1967 marked his first violent offense on public record. He attacked anti-war protesters at San Jose State with a baseball bat. His companion wielded a metal pipe alongside him. Given many Angels' military connections, they viewed protesters as unpatriotic enemies. Still, beating civilians hardly qualified as patriotic service. The following year brought more chaos. At Redwood City's topless pool hall, an establishment whose very existence raised questions, chaos erupted in the parking lot. Doug struck a deputy from behind during the melee. The officer responded by introducing Doug to his police dog partner. As it happens, police dogs don't appreciate surprise attacks on their handlers. Between nightstick blows and canine dental work, Doug suffered a broken hand. Despite this painful education, he remained a slow learner regarding law enforcement encounters. January 1969 brought his most chilling violence yet. After a trivial traffic dispute, Doug and fellow Angels followed 21-year-old Earl Hudson home. Hudson's wife hid trembling in a closet as the Angels broke down their door with terrifying efficiency. As Hudson tried escaping over a backyard fence, someone, allegedly Doug, shot him point blank with a shotgun. Surgeons later removed 47 pellets from Hudson's body. They also extracted his gallbladder and portions of several organs. Surprisingly, Hudson survived to identify his attacker. In the twisted economy of outlaw violence, this qualified as a botched job. Doug had failed to silence his victim permanently. Law enforcement quickly raided 4 Angel hangouts searching for Doug the Thug. They found him in Menlo Park, seemingly unconcerned about attempted murder charges. Perhaps he believed his growing reputation provided immunity from consequences. 3. The mental ward escape. Facing attempted murder charges, Doug pivoted to an unexpected strategy. He pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Smart move for someone whose day job involved terrifying rational people. Despite this, the courts took his claim seriously. The judicial system ordered psychiatric evaluations. 3 different doctors examined Doug and surprisingly couldn't reach consensus. The first doctor insisted he was genuinely insane. According to his notes, Doug kept talking about a ghost that follows him. Furthermore, he claimed this ghost was his father giving him instructions. The second psychiatrist found zero evidence of mental illness. Meanwhile, the third doctor suspected Doug was faking everything. Under such conflicting opinions, the court decided to bet on insanity. Thus began Doug's brief psychiatric career at Atascadero State Hospital. Prison walls couldn't hold Doug, so psychiatric ward barriers stood even less chance. Within a month of commitment, he orchestrated a daring escape. Along with 7 fellow patients, he sawed through window bars. They slid down a drain pipe like deranged firefighters. Though 5 escapees quickly surrendered, Doug vanished completely. Hell's Angels folklore adds dramatic flair to this escape. According to Sonny Barger himself, a rescue team from the club broke Doug out. Their motivation? The hospital had scheduled electroshock treatments for him. Some whispered about potential lobotomy plans. Whether truth or embellishment, the story enhanced Doug's larger-than-life reputation. During his 3 months on the run, Doug apparently missed his dog. Police suspected he broke into the Humane Society to retrieve his white German Shepherd. Only Doug would risk recapture for canine companionship. Freedom ended on October 10, 1969, when police caught him returning a borrowed car. In his possession, a .38 caliber handgun and a one-way ticket to Vancouver. The international escape plan revealed Doug understood the seriousness of his situation. Unfortunately for him, understanding came 3 months too late. The court, now thoroughly tired of Doug's antics, conducted a second sanity hearing. This time, judges determined he had been perfectly sane while shooting Hudson. His fate was sealed. After conviction, he received consecutive sentences totaling potentially 19 years. Just before his 24th birthday, Doug entered San Quentin's imposing gates. Behind them waited a new chapter where his particular talents would find their truest expression. 4. Prison Yard Prophet. San Quentin greeted Doug like an old friend expecting his arrival. Within its concrete maze, he quickly established his fearsome reputation. Ultimately, he wound up in prison alongside other Hell's Angels, making a fierce reputation for the club. Unlike street gangs, prison hierarchies required proof of toughness. Doug delivered this evidence repeatedly. A 1977 San Quentin news photo captured Doug among fellow Angels receiving thanks. The prison administration appreciated their organizing bike shows and concerts. Behind these seemingly innocent activities lurked more practical arrangements. The Angels smuggled contraband during these events. Additionally, they paid fees to other prison gangs. Despite Hell's Angels' street dominance, prison yards belonged to 4 major gangs. Doug navigated this complex ecosystem masterfully. He formed alliances with the Mexican Mafia. Likewise, he established working relationships with the Aryan Brotherhood. Yet his individual reputation transcended even these powerful connections. Former inmates spoke of Doug in hushed, reverential tones decades later. One described him as the toughest white boy on the yard. This title made him a natural target. Nevertheless, challengers typically regretted their decisions quickly. In one legendary incident, several rival gang members attacked him simultaneously. During the assault, they gouged a baseball-sized chunk from his calf muscle. Doug survived without seeking revenge. Instead, he let the incident amplify his growing mythology. Soon, his reputation extended beyond verified incidents. During a temporary release, Doug attended a motorcycle run in Sturgis, South Dakota. Fresh from prison and carrying what witnesses called his prison swagger, he commanded extraordinary respect. People literally moved aside as he walked down the main street. The street parted like the Red Sea, one observer noted with awe. Doug's influence grew even as his psychology remained mysterious to others. His capacity for shocking violence contrasted with strategic intelligence. While many feared him, others sought his protection and guidance. Throughout the prison system, his name became shorthand for unmatched ferocity. San Quentin's hardened population included murderers and career criminals. Somehow, among these predators, Doug established himself as the apex threat. His method combined calculated intimidation with unpredictable explosions of force. 5. The Final Highway. By 1985, Doug had secured parole and planted himself strategically in Oakland. His new residence sat directly across from Sonny Barger's home. Additionally, he transferred from Daly City to the Oakland chapter. This move positioned him at the club's power center. Freedom proved fleeting for a man with Doug's habits. The FBI launched Operation Rough Rider that May. Their nationwide sweep targeted Hell's Angels drug operations. 125 arrests disrupted the club's activities across America. When authorities raided Doug's house, they discovered a firearm in his truck. Given his felony record, this discovery guaranteed his return to prison. The federal judge sentenced him to 6 years. Doug headed to Lewisburg, United States Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. Behind these new walls, old habits resurfaced with deadly consequences. According to sources, Doug developed a habit common among long-term inmates. Who would dare confront Doug about rule violations? On June 26, 1986, the legend ended unceremoniously in a prison cell. Doug overdosed alone without witnesses or assistance. There were no conspiracies, no assassination plots. Instead, the man who terrorized California's toughest criminals died from self-administered poison. News of his death sparked heated debate within the Hells Angels organization. The by-the-book faction opposed giving him a proper funeral. They cited his violation of club rules. Nevertheless, others argued his contributions outweighed his transgressions. Humor circulated alongside grief during these discussions. Some joked that members approved his funeral because they feared Doug wasn't really dead. Perhaps they worried he might return seeking vengeance against those who denied him proper respects. On August 7, 1986, Doug was laid to rest at Oakland's Evergreen Cemetery. Rather than joining the general population, he received space in an area reserved for fallen angels. At merely 40 years old, his legend had already outgrown his life. Rumors persisted long after his burial. Some believed federal authorities had faked his death. These conspiracy theories claimed he was locked in a cell in Colorado with the door welded shut. Such fantastic stories revealed Doug's psychological impact more than any reality. A source summarized Doug's legacy perfectly. Doug was a dream to many and a nightmare to a lot of other people. The small-town swimming champion had completed his transformation into an outlaw icon. His name would echo through criminal folklore for decades to come.